Okay, Pete. Got the fans in. This is how I hooked them up inside here. I made a little PC board because the fans all have connectors on them. So I made a little PC board out of some perf board, and got the hot bus and the ground bus. Got the pins soldered in from the connectors. So all you have to do is plug the fans in. That way, if one of the fans ever goes bad, you just unplug it from the PC board and replace it out back. Okay? That's connected to the transmit, the relay is. So when you key the microphone to transmit, the fans all kick on. And as long as you're holding down the key on the microphone to transmit, the fans are running. When you release the key, the fans quit. Okay? That way you don't have to listen to the noise all the time, because they are noisy. But they'll be on when you need them on. Okay? Just thought I'd show that to you. There are the fans, all mounted on there. And tying the supply voltage into the power connector on each side. Alright, already got the big 10 amp diode down in there. There's the 6 amp right there. There's your 4700 microfarad upgrade cap. Right down there in front of it is the big 10 amp protection diode. Upgraded the audio, not the audio, the voltage regulator buffer to a 3300 microfarad 25 volt. And I got some heat shrink that I'll be putting over this thing once I get through soldering it and making sure that everything works. I want to keep it close to the opening back here, kind of like right in there, and there's really no way for me to attach it because I can't get to the back of the radio for the amplifier. So I'm just going to put some heat shrink over it, and might use some double-sided tape to stick it to the back there, kind of like that, something along those lines. After I get the heat shrink on it, you know, put the double-sided tape on the heat shrink so that these don't short out against the frame. Alright, more to come. Okay, Pete R. There's the little relay board I've got for the fans. Okay, and you can see that this is Scotch mounting tape, so it ain't junk. It should hold for a long time. Okay, got that mounted right there on the back. Alright, and if you need to replace a fan, you can just cut the heat shrink right along there, and you can get to the little plugs for the fans. You know, either that or just send it back to me and I'll replace them. I will know what to do. Okay. The only part that didn't get completely covered up by the heat shrink is right here in the front. Thought I had a big enough piece of heat shrink, but it pulled back. But the double-sided tape is in between the board and the back of the radio, so we're okay there. There's your amp control relay. By the way, if the amp is not on, then the fans don't come on either. Okay? They only come on when you're in transmit with the amplifier on. The Roger beep controls the amp and also controls the fans. Okay. At least I think I got that right. I know the fans only come on in transmit anyway, but I think that they do come on during normal transmit. Even though you don't have the amp on, the fans will come on anytime you key the radio. That's the way it is. All right, I got it now. Because these guys here are going to be transferring heat to this back heat sink, which is attached to the big heat sink on the amplifier. All right, there is your TRBX3 echo board. I was going to mount it back here, but with the amplifier back there, I was getting a little bit of feedback because this thing has a built-in amplifier too. I was getting a little bit of feedback in the mic circuit, and I didn't like that. You know, some people may not have minded it, but it bothered me, so I moved it over here to get it away from that area. And of course it cleared right up. There's your LC5304NX. Squelch scan, all that stuff. Okay, your radio's been upgraded to all Schottkys. The first RF amp's been upgraded. The receive circuit's been broadbanded, and the transmit circuit's been broadbanded. All right. Okay, I'm about ready to put the covers on it. I'll be back. One thing I almost forgot to tell you about is that I upgraded your 10.7 filter, 25 kilohertz wide filter, to a 15 kilohertz wide filter. What that does is cut down on your bleed over. Okay, if you ever want to do the, what do they call it, the studio wide banding crap or whatever, then you'll have to go back to the 25 kilohertz wide filter. Because with this thing cutting down bleed over, it also cuts down the bandpass for the transmit. Alright, didn't want to leave that out. Okay, more to come. Okay, Pete, I just got the cover sitting on there. Listening to the skip on 38. Of course, you might as well know as soon as I turn the camera on, it dies down. There we go. K44 back to you. All those stations are out in California. Heard some Missouri stations about an hour earlier. Now it's swung on out to California. And a lot of the stations below Channel 1 are south of the border stations.
Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of 488 run there, and couldn't make it there. Hey, did you guys say Larry was in the radio still right now? 844, they just still right now?
There it is. That flickering you see with the 3-channel display is the camera frame speed syncing with the refresh rate with the LC5304 board. What I wanted to show you, I've been telling you guys about the knots that I put in these. Right there, you can see it. Okay. Not only do I drill it out, but I put a notch there. And that notch is going to go up against this flat spot right here. Alright? And that means if you turn it a little too hard when it gets to the end, it shouldn't break loose. Okay? The glue should fill up that little hole right there. And get in between it and the shaft of the 10-turn clarifier, create like a little glue key, you know, to keep it from turning. Okay, waiting on the face decal to dry so that I can push down the edges. Stuff are still sticking up a little bit, but I want to wait for it to dry underneath it so when I push it down it stays in place. Alright, I'll be back. More to come. Okay, listen how quiet that radio is. But you need to be careful because, you know, if you turn the volume way up all of a sudden someone will come in and just blow your ears out. So don't let the quiet sound fool you. Okay, Peter R in New York. Here's your Lescom DX959. Wanted to give you a little demo of the output power and see what it sounded like and take a look at it on the scope. First I'm going to turn the mic gain all the way down and give it a dead key. You can see there's the meter clicks when I first press the button, but then there's no movement after that, no carrier. Okay, and that's on lower sideband. Let's go to upper sideband. Do the same thing. You hear those fans running. Okay, I'll turn the mic gain all the way back up and talk back, or not talk back, but your echo, TRBX3 echo is turned off. And I need to get back on the lower side. And there's my monitor radio. It's the Yaesu FT450. I put the 2970N2 in my new truck. Hello, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1 audio test. Turn the mic gain down a little bit so I don't get feedback. Audio test, test audio. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1 audio test. That's too much. Audio testing, testing audio. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1 audio test. Okay. And get a shot of the oscope. I had to move the oscope meter around a little bit so that we could get that. Audio testing, testing audio. Audio 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. That's with the amplifier turned on. Audio test, test audio. Right now we're on the 100 watt scale. The meter on the left is average power. The meter on the right is peak power. I'm going to go ahead and switch the peak meter to ×2. I'm going to use the two-tone out of my B&K. Turn the monitor radio down. Okay, you can see we're about, what is that, about 65 watts average. And what is that, about 102 watts peak. That's on sideband, and that is with a two-tone generator. Okay, now we're going to do AM. Oh, you know what? I need to turn the power all the way down on sideband and do it again. That's the power all the way down. Didn't seem to make much difference. So you have to control the power, sideband power, with your mic gain. Okay. Now then, let's go to AM. And the power all the way back up. Two-tone generator. Well, let's do a dead key first. We're a dead key in what? About 30 watts? Yeah, about 30 watts. Okay, now I'm injecting the two-tone. And we've got probably somewhere around 125, 130 watts peak. and about 38 watts average. Okay, I'll cut the two-tone off. See what it looks like on the scope. Audio test, test audio. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got a little bit of flat topping. I'll need to adjust that. Audio, hello, hello, audio. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't have a direct connection to the scope. I just got the scope probe hanging loose up there. But there it is. And of course, push the mic gain button in to turn the amp on and off. And with your amp off, the fans don't come on. Okay. With the amp on, the fans come on every time you key the microphone. All right. I think that about does it. Well, the squelch scan, you know about the squelch scan. There's your 10-turn clarifier. And let me show you that real quick. Right there is 5 up. Okay, you'll go 10, what is that, about 12 up. See how far down it goes. 385 is the center frequency. There's 5 down, 6, 7, 8, about 8 down. 12 up, 8 down. Okay, let's get her back on center frequency here. The glue's dried on the knob. Right about there center, that's where I was hearing stations yesterday on channel 38. Okay, squelch scan. Squelch the radio so that you don't hear the noise, don't hear the hiss. And to the right is scan up. To the left is scan down. Okay. Your CSS switch here all the way to the left and in the center position, your channel selector changes the channel. Okay. All the way over to the right, this becomes your band switch. Jumps 45 channels at a time. Okay, now that's your highest frequency. See that right there? That's the highest frequency. That is your lowest frequency. Okay. All right. Switch back to channel. Okay, of course, it doesn't skip anything, and your channels are in sequence. Okay, you notice right there, your channels are in frequency sequence. That's channel 22. The next channel, which is 235, is channel 24 because channel 23 is out of sequence. Okay, remember, it's set up to go in frequency sequence, and it just tells you what CB channel it is. All right, there's 25. You see, it's 245. There's 23. 255. Okay, the next channel up is 26, 265, so on and so forth. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to channel 38, lower sideband, and let's switch antennas over and see if we can hear anything. I guess it might help if I turn that damn thing down. Boy. The radio's quiet. And you need to be careful with that, because you'll think it's not receiving. You'll turn that mic gain way up, or the volume way up, and then somebody will come in and bust your eardrums. But it's really quiet right now. See if we can find something. It's early in the morning. I'm not hearing much on my FT450 either. Switch to AM. Alright, if I don't want to listen to what it stopped on, I could just turn the channel selector in the direction I was scanning. I click it one click down and it'll go on to the next. You know, it'll go on and look for something else. And what you're hearing there is computer noise. Well, just not much to hear, and I know you guys don't want to sit there and listen to a bunch of static. So I'll go back to the lower side of 38, and I'll leave the radio set up like that. Okay, I know what I needed to do. Let me get back on the dummy loads. Wanted you to hear the echo. Change mode on my monitor radio to AM. Hello. Might help if I turn it back up. Hello, hello. Not far enough. Hello, hello, hello. Audio test, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, audio test. I don't know, I don't think y'all could hear that. Audio test, test audio. Hold on a minute. Let me get my monitor radio set back up. Be right back. Okay, I got it set now. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio test. Okay. Now let me turn up the time. Audio. 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let's see. That was with the amp on. This is with the amp off. Audio. Audio. And turn the time all the way back down. Audio. Audio 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Audio test. Turn the RF gain back up a little bit. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio test. And turn the time back up. Audio 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn all this back down and turn it off. And let's see. You have to be real careful by using this 450 for a monitor radio. But you can see right now I've got the RF gain turned all the way back up, and we're not hearing anything. Band is just kind of quiet. Wonder where everybody's at this morning. I guess in church. No, what's today? No, they're not in church today. That's tomorrow. Okay. Well, Pete, I think that just about does it. Been a long time coming. I appreciate your patience. I sure hope you enjoy the radio. It's my pleasure to build it for you. 73s.